Hey guys, my name is Anston and I'm from Cupcake. In today's video, I'll show you how to make a very simple parmesan and herb pull-apart. You can use any different kinds of cheese for it, but I'm using parmesan because it has a very strong taste to it. The bread that I'm making today, you can use it for roast dinners, for snacks, for picnics. It's very easy to put together and does not take long at all. So let's begin. So guys, for today's ingredients for the bread, we'll be starting off with 500 grams of plain flour. You can use baker's flour for breads or just the plain flour you find in your local store. I've put in 1.5 teaspoons of rock salt. You can use table salt if you want to, but that's completely up to you. I have 80 grams of Parmesan cheese here. You can use cheddar if you would prefer, or any other cheese, but I would probably say to use cheddar or Parmesan because it gives you a nice taste throughout. Here I have 2 teaspoons of dried yeast. So that's a 7-gram packet, and that's the packet I use here. 7 grams, it comes in perfect 12 sachets, and it's easy. With the yeast, I also have 1 teaspoon of sugar. On the side here, I have my herbs. For the herbs, I have 1 tablespoon of chopped thyme. I have 2 tablespoons of snipped chives. I have 2 tablespoons, 2 to 3 tablespoons of parsley, and I have half a teaspoon of rosemary. I have my loaf tin here. I've just I've just oiled it with a bit of vegetable oil. You don't have to put baking paper. Here, the glass of water that I have here, it's for the yeast and the sugar, and that's 125 ml of warm water. And here I have for the flour, that's 250 ml of warm water. So guys, I put my yeast and the sugar in a bowl. Now to that I'll add my 125 ml of warm water. So do this around 10 to 15 minutes before you start your process of making your bread. Leave this for around 10 minutes or until bubbles appear on the surface. It wouldn't take long, probably 10 to 15 minutes. But if that does not happen in the first 10 to 15 minutes, that means your yeast has died, and you probably have to start again. If your yeast is alive, it should have slightly doubled in volume, and it should also be very frothy. So if it's actually dead, it could still be the same as when you put the water in first. So we'll go and start with our flour. So I made a small, like a slight well here to put my yeast into. I'm going to put everything in. As you all know, I like to put everything into it. And then I'm going to put in my warm water. The whole 1 cup in. And then either using a knife or a spoon, just bring everything into a soft dough. And once you do that, slightly flour your workbench and then knead the mixture till it's completely formed into a ball around 10 minutes. So guys, once your flour's turned into a soft dough or a ball, like mine, slightly, take some flour and slightly dust your workbench, and then put your dough onto the workbench and knead it for around 10 minutes or until it's completely smooth. Once you finish kneading your dough for around 10 minutes, I did mine for around 6 to 7 minutes because it became completely smooth and to the consistency that I wanted. Get a bowl that's lightly covered in a bit of vegetable oil, any oil you prefer. Put your dough into it. Cover it with a damp cloth, like a tea towel, or if you want cling wrap, like plastic wrap, and keep it in a warm place for around 45 minutes to an hour. So if you're in a country like me at the moment, in Australia where it's winter, keep it in front of your preheated oven, not too close, but just close enough so it gets that nice amount of heat for it to double in size. After keeping it to rise for nearly an hour now, it is nicely risen, doubled in size here. So punch it down and knead it for around another 1 minute. And once that's done, we'll be starting on our next step to get the dough ready for the filling. I've kneaded this for another minute. So once that's done, cut your dough into half. Oops. And then turn each half into 10 separate discs, flat discs. So the discs should be around 6 centimeters in diameter, and then 2.5 inches to 3 inches thick. So once that's done, we can start our next step. So what I'll do is I'll show you how to turn it into 10 nice discs. So roll it out into like a sausage shape, a very big sausage shape. If you want, you can actually put some flour on your bench, but I don't want to increase the flour ratio in this. I'm gonna do make it smaller. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so we'll start from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have 10. It's fine if you get a small one here, because you can use it for the ends of the loaf. So I've done that for this half here. I'll see you right after doing the same thing for this half. So guys, I've done all my 20 cutouts. So put some flour onto your workbench, just a tiny bit, and put some on the side so you can use it. Start off with the smaller ones, and let's turn them into circles. Oops. Look, they don't have to be even, so because they will puff up again, and they take the shape of the loaf tin. I've mixed the cheese and the herbs in here. I'm just going to put a tiny bit. The next one on it, press it out. Do the same thing. It's fine if things fall out and it sticks to the top part. That actually looks nice. I like it that way. And then press it out again. So what we're doing here at the moment is just going to build it up, and then we're going to place it into our pan. Guys, I've done this in two halves here, because I was doing this and it started sloping a bit, so I didn't want to keep on building it up on it horizontally. I did another half here. So while you were doing this, make sure you preheat your oven to 415 degrees Fahrenheit and 210 degrees for a conventional oven, and 190 for a fan forced. So what we'll do here is we'll take it and put it into a tin. If you have a bit more, just make sure you stick it on the side here, because you don't want to have one with no herb filling in it. So if you have any leftover, like I do, like probably a tablespoon, just put it on the top. It's completely okay. Okay, so once you've finished doing this, cover this with cling wrap or plastic wrap or a damp cloth again, and let it rest in a warm place for 30 minutes for its final double up, and then we'll put it in the oven for around 25 to 30 minutes. So guys, my dough has been sitting for 30 minutes and it's perfectly risen. I love the rise on it. Get a bit of milk and just lightly brush over the all over the loaf. And this is done so you get a nice brown, light brown color on the top of your loaf. So once you've completely brushed your loaf with milk, and you can use any milk you want, full cream, skim milk, anything. So once that's done, put it into your preheated oven for around 30 minutes, 25 to 30 minutes. Start taking a look from 25 minutes. It's always good to take a look from around the 20-25 minute mark, because you don't want your bread to burn. If you're really unsure, try popping it out slightly by wearing gloves, and give a slight tap on the bottom. If it sounds hollow, it's perfectly done. So guys, my one's done after around 28 minutes of being in. If you don't want it to be as brown as mine, you can always use an aluminium foil just to cover the top bit when it's in the oven. So if you're not really sure if your loaf's done, you can quickly pull it out and give it a tap in the bottom. If you can hear that hollow sound, that means it's perfect. So you might probably look at this and be like, hey, where's the pull apart? But because it's still hot, I can show you. You can see the layers actually coming off from the sides there. Oops, sorry, there you go. That's actually all those different layers that we did. Hey guys, so I hope you enjoyed making the loaf as much as I did. As I said before, you can use it during a roast, dinner, to scoop your gravy up, or you can give it to the kids as a snack during the day, or have it just by yourself any time of the day. And as I said before, do not add any cheese other than Parmesan or cheddar, because it goes perfectly with the herbs that's in the loaf. If you want the discs to be a bit more prominent at the top, before you put it into the oven, try to separate the discs on the top so it's easy for you to pull apart. In case that's really hard, you can just cut it into 20 slices and you'll have swirls of cheese and herbs going through. So let me know how it goes. Do not forget to comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.